The recording was a bit slow to start. As I said, here I am in the desert. And here are the three houses. I was expecting 3 NPCs to show up. Oh, well, there's the second one. By the time I built the first story, Caitlin the nurse showed up. I actually haven't paid attention to that particular portrait. Interesting. I think they were supposed to imply that her hat has the red cross, but I think they didn't put a red cross in this art so that the Red Cross Association doesn't harass them with legal problems. Can I just say, that whole thing with the Red Cross is so stupid. Like, how does bothering game developers and players help anyone in practice? But anyway, the nurse shows up if you've increased your max life at least once. So 120 max life or more. The demolitionist, who sells explosives and some decorative stuff related to rocks, I'm pretty sure. These are new. It used to be he just sold dynamite bombs and grenades. I'm actually going to buy a bunch of grenades. Maybe that's fine, because they're really good crowd control. Just questioning if I should... Actually, I can buy way more. That should be good. And the demolitionist showed up because I have at least one explosive on hand. And there's one more NPC that should show up because I have a gun. Yeah, all I did was I waited through the night, like I said, but at some point I got bored of it. So I went, oh, there's the arms dealer. What? Excuse me. Why didn't he show up here? Yeah, I could just buy a bunch of musket balls from the arms dealer. Yeah, I scoured the surface to kill some time through the night. Picked up a bunch of worms from the rocks. I accidentally got a lucky clover, which I think was added in this update. It can drop from any grass, it's just very unlikely. And I'm pretty sure that as long as it's in your inventory, it increases your luck, which is a sort of hidden stat. Oh, and before I left my base, I used all the iron I had for a helmet and greaves. So now I have 4 defense, which isn't going to be hugely impactful, but it's something. And right now, having the NPCs separated by this much space is a little inconvenient, but later it should work out quite well with the fast travel system. Also, it was raining when I got to the desert, so I got water leaf seeds. Each unique herb has particular... Oh, I should grab this. Stink bugs are gonna be handy later. But each herb has particular circumstances in which it drops seeds. Day blooms bloom and drop seeds during the day. I think that's pretty obvious. I think this is one instance in which the character portrait is a little incongruous with the sprite. I guess I can sort of see the ammo bandolier on his chest. Although maybe they added that to the sprite when they made this. It's just one of those unfortunate cases where the way they decided to interpret the sprite doesn't match people's image of the arms dealer. I think 860 musket balls is plenty. I think I've ultimately decided that I will play Summoner. Oh, it's funny, by the way, if you've seen the community post asking if people want to see a Terraria playthrough, I did that in between these two recording sessions. I'm just gonna record for as long as I enjoy, and maybe I'll just disregard this playthrough for a while until I have no ideas. We'll see. There's a particular use for these stink bugs. It's kind of a weird one, but as long as I see them. Oh, by the way, this is how long the range for quick stacking is. It's very convenient. Actually, I think 5 is exactly how many I need. One benefit of the guide is you can give him a material and he'll show you everything you can craft from it. These are some utility items for housing. Apologies for my throat. I just got done eating and apparently I eat too fast. Right, I need a gold or platinum broadsword for this thing. You basically use this to kill NPCs. It's weird, but there is good reason to do that. So, I'll keep these 5 stink bugs in here. Alright, my notes. I did make notes. All I did in between this recording and the last was have dinner, watch the first video back, which I actually enjoyed. It went by pretty quick. I thought I would be bored of listening to myself, but I was keeping up a decent pace of talking about stuff. So, a few things from last time. 200 MP is the maximum you can get from star crystals. When it comes to housing, it needs to be a fully enclosed space with solid blocks. The only exception is you can have platforms as an entrance. And you need at least one entrance, either platforms or a door. There are various doors, including trapdoors. The enclosed space needs to be fully filled out with background wall, every single tile. You need a table and a chair, at least one of each. At least one light source inside of the enclosed space, I think. And yeah, I think that's it. One thing I forgot to explain above the ruler here is block swap. What this means is you can attempt to place a block where there is another block, and the game will automatically mine and replace it, which is very convenient. That's what I was doing with the platforms and the floor, where I placed the foundation of the house in the last video. And you see I've placed my coins in the piggy bank. You can carry a piggy bank with yourself and basically invalidate the loss of money when you die by just storing the money inside. It is a piggy bank after all, so that's part of the point of it. That was fall damage. I need to be careful. I'm used to being immune to fall damage as well. And any money in your piggy bank is automatically used with vendors. You might have seen that with the arms dealer before. Savings, and there's a little piggy bank icon. I could buy a mining helmet, but there's kind of no point. Something I didn't get to show off. Let me just take my equipment off. If you pick up an item that can't be equipped, the equipment slots here get grayed out. And if you pick up, say, a helmet, it'll highlight the slots where you can put it. Now this is armor that gives you stats, so you want to put it in that slot to gain the stats. But you can also put it in this slot, which just uses it for vanity, so you don't gain anything. Yeah, not functional in social slot. Oh, that's different. Before, it wouldn't show you any of the stats of the armor. It would just say no stats gained. That's another nice change, I suppose. I didn't even notice that. And if you pick up an accessory, which is what this aglet is, it highlights these slots, which I guess it's worth noting. If you're not playing on Master, you have 5 accessory slots. But since I'm playing on Master, I get 1 extra. Which is kind of silly in practice because it doesn't make much of a difference in the early game. And in the late game, you can just fill the 1 extra slot with an item that increases your damage. So the end result of that is enemy life is increased, and your max potential damage with a good build is also increased. So why do either of those things? This is a point I've made before. It's one of the reasons why Master is lame, and increasing stats to increase difficulty is unimpressive in most games. Sometimes it can be effective. Like, I think in a turn-based RPG I messed up my words. In a turn-based RPG, there we go, enemies having more stats can be kinda decent. It changes the breakpoints of which enemies you can kill in 1 turn and how you can kill them in 1 turn. It might give enemies that are usually intended to just die outright. Oh, you can see the corrupt grass is spread. I should probably do something about that before I go caving. Oh, and when I talked about these zombies that are wielding their arms, they have longer range and a melee attack animation. Which means that they can reach you when you have certain early game weapons. Other enemies, with the same AI, you can outrage them with a broadsword, like the cactus sword. Actually, the cactus sword is big enough that you can hit these guys without them attacking you as well. Also, their melee attack really hurts. If I got a little bit closer, they would have hit me. So, I'm gonna take all these sunflowers, because they have another function aside from giving you that passive effect. Oh, that's just an owl. I thought it was a demon eye for a second. I was ready to take aim. So since the grass spread this far, I will place the sunflowers up here. They block the spread of the crimson grass. There are other ways you can do it, but sunflowers are, I think, aesthetically pleasing, where you can also just dig out the floor and replace it with wood. Because wood is not a block that can get corrupted by the evil of the world. Wait, what? Why is there a gap here? That's weird world generation. Typically it's just solid. Okay, I need to get out of here. Although I can handle these enemies with this weapon. That was close. Yeah, no, I need to go back and start caving. I'll maintain hour-long sessions of this. I think it should work out well. And I like the idea of doing work off camera and then explaining it. Seems perfectly reasonable. Although I don't really need the worms, it's force of habit for me to keep gathering them. From the can of worms, I got 2 enchanted night crawlers. If you compare, the enchanted night crawlers have 10% more bait power, so they would be more effective as bait. And you can actually turn regular worms into night crawlers by combining them with stars. I'm not going to do that though. Maybe later when I have a surplus of stars. But there are actually some uses for stars that don't involve magic. Like a ranger could use stars to great effect. And there is at least one specific thing I would do, even now, when I plan to be a summoner. I have most of the sets, so full iron could be fine. I'm using the gun even at close range, just because it's strong. And now that I have an arms dealer, it hardly matters. Ammo is basically infinite. A single grenade should kill this worm, because every segment will take 60 damage. Minus whatever the defense stat was. Yep. Grenades are good. Have them on your person in the early game. It's worth noting that the reason I phrased it as which damage type you're using instead of which class are you playing is because that's kind of the real distinction. Classes in Terraria are famously not very different at all. They're defined by their stats and which items they use. Their playstyles are the same though. You run away from enemies, dodge bosses, and shoot them until they die. Only the summoner has a lot of automated damage. Like every summoner character in every action RPG ever made. I actually don't like how summoners work in most RPGs. It's just, oh yeah, that's the class you play if you don't want to play the game. If you want the game to play itself. Like, I've never been a fan of summoners in Path of Exile, for example. Okay, another threshold, when you have at least 200 max life, something else can happen, which I can actually handle, so if I find more life crystals, I don't care. Oh, an abandoned dwelling. That's good. Wow, I'm a terrible shot. In my mind, no, magic mirror is not really useful. You might think it is because it's the same thing as a recall potion, except it's infinite use. But recall potions are faster, and they're not really limited. You can get as many of them as you could ever need. They're practically infinite, which is sort of a problem in general. Healing potions, buff potions, like I'll drink a night owl, which brightens. You know what? For the purposes of this playthrough, I'm going to try to supply myself with night owl potions so that it's easier to see what's going on in the footage. You're welcome. Assuming I hold to that anyway. There might be more down here. I don't want to just start digging straight down or anything. But yeah, disposable healing potions that are practically infinite. It's not a great design decision. Sorry to bring this up, but it's one of the things people praise Dark Souls for that I cannot disagree with. Estus is better than Moongrass, that's for sure. It's one of those design decisions where it's like, Moongrass is the thing every single RPG has done in the past. Damn it. How did I miss that? Maybe I'm too busy talking. Whereas Estus is like... It's almost like a live system in a way to where... A lot of live systems in like home console games are not particularly well balanced. I think of like games I played growing up, like Crash Bandicoot or Spyro the Dragon, where since you can save the game, having limited lives doesn't really matter because you can just save scum your lives back. And a game over doesn't mean much when you can just reload a save, so who cares? Similarly, in RPGs, potions help you recover from mistakes, right? Especially in a real-time action RPG. Yeah, in a turn-based game, it's not quite the same thing. It's different, because you're gonna get hit. So healing is a strategic thing, it's not margin for error. That's my point of view, anyway. Yeah, I think Estus is the equivalent of looking at poorly executed live systems and making a really well-balanced one. Similarly to, say, Mibibli's Quest, since I recently finished at least my initial playthrough of that game. Okay, 2 gold chests. So I really like Estus. Because the problem with buffs and healing potions in Terraria is there's really no limitation on them. Ideally, you should waste all of your time farming potions so that you can be at a strict advantage all the time with potion effects active. But actually doing that is a pain in the ass, so the only reason you're not gonna constantly have every single potion effect worth having is because it would be mind-numbingly boring to do in practice. Alright, the flaming mace actually gets extinguished when it touches water. I forgot about that. It is a nice detail, I suppose. This is why I feel like using the gun. It's definitely better single target DPS in this case. Oh, and another rail. That's excellent. I could just keep following these rails. One of my friends managed to go all the way to the bottom of the world using just rails like this. This is a trap chest. You can see a dart trap and 2 boulders. So the way to deal with this would be something like that. And now I can open it safely. I also check the floor because there are oftentimes explosives rigged to the chest as well. I guess I was lucky this time. That's called a dead man's chest, because it can be wired, rigged to explode with traps. Oh. Oh, that used to be a vanity item. It's actual armor now. Or defense and reduced damage and debuff time from traps. Sure. It has no set bonus, but that's perfectly fine. That's one thing as they update the game, they're trying to make useless items useful. And to make functionally redundant items that just have strictly better or worse stats. more distinct, which I do appreciate. I guess this is the caving episode. If I find certain things, I will be very well off. So I'm definitely going to commit to a lot of caving. It's kind of optimal. Oh no. That's what you get, yeah. Friggin' slime. Technically you can save a little bit of gel in a case like that where the bomb can't roll out of the spot where you want it to blow up, but I think that kind of consideration shows that I've played way too much of this game. There are also traps that can be rigged to the rails themselves, which is why I don't want to go... Nearly stepped on that. Don't want to go across the rails at full speed. That's a hunter potion, that's right. It highlights enemies. But I don't really need that right now. There are a few circumstances in which that's useful. I'm worried that my nose and throat are messed up now when compared to last recording, because the first recording sounded great. I was so happy with the video and the audio. Did I eat so fast that it made me feel like crap? Ugh. Bad habits, I suppose. Technically a waste of one gel, but gel is another practically infinite thing. Slimes are everywhere. Aside from torches, gel is flammable and adhesive, so all of its uses reflect those properties. I won't detail all of them now, but yeah, there is more. I don't want to blow up the rails, because then I'd have to place them back. It's a little bit of a hassle, so I'll just mine that. I had glow sticks. I think I used some of them without mentioning it. They're temporary, they despawn after a certain amount of time, but they let you light stuff. They roll around and bounce off walls. I think they use the same physics as bombs. I didn't explore the other side of the rail, did I? No. I can head back there once this trail runs cold. Oh, another abandoned dwelling. That's good. There's a specific thing I'm looking for from that dwelling, from these dwellings, I mean, before I start tackling serious progression. My main concern right now is mobility, because I'm basically stuck with default movement, which is terrible. So one funny thing about Terraria, I'm pretty sure the game was never initially designed to be super challenging, and yet the community has kind of changed that, and Realogic themselves have made more difficult things in the game, and yet the base movement is still the same. Yes! Yes! Hermes Boots are a big deal. Now I can fight like 2 or 3 bosses, maybe. No problem. Without them, would have been way worse. I can take the loot. You know what? I'm just gonna take all this stuff. I'll sell that. I guess those are useful. I'll put a chandelier in one of the houses, why not? I like paintings as well. That's part of the reason. I'm just gonna place whatever I find in various houses with some vague idea of how it all ties together. I can use those gills potions later. They let you breathe underwater. It used to be that they made it so that you breathe water instead of air, so you could suffocate when you're outside of water. But they got rid of that. Which I don't know, I thought that was neat. Yes, it's slightly inconvenient, but what's the big deal? Just cancel the status effect if you don't want to suffocate. Once you're done being underwater. I saw the gold down here. Some of the particle effects also light stuff up, which is useful. Like explosions, yeah, you could see way down here from that. I guess it's worth noting the cursor is customizable. You can give it an outline and change its color. You can change the color of the outline as well. And I picked this because theoretically a black cursor with a white outline, or vice versa, is visible against any background. I guess you could call that an accessibility choice, if you wanted to. I'm not the kind of person to lose track of his cursor, but still. Maybe it helps you lot when watching these videos. Do I really want that iron? No, not really. I can definitely make a full set. And if I like the Dead Man's sweater, I guess I can wear that mixed with other armor. You don't need to care about set bonuses. Strictly speaking, if you want it to be optimal, some mishmash of armor pieces that total really good stats together is better than a lot of set bonuses. Like in this case, I just get 2 extra defense, but if instead of that I'm wearing armor that has 2 more defense anyway, you see what I'm saying. I don't think there's much of anything up here. There's tungsten. I could make tungsten tools. I have plenty of tungsten right now, so... Oh yeah, bombs do destroy background walls if they hit the edge of the wall. But say if I put a bomb right here and there's no edge under these tiles, I'm pretty sure the walls wouldn't get destroyed. That's the sort of thing people would never notice unless they played this for as long as I have. Could use some more iron. Leftover iron would be very useful, so sure. I'll leave that one bit. It's not a big deal. That's a slime with torches inside of it. How is it not burning? Imagine a gelatinous cube of, let's say petrol, or some kind of fuel like that contained a lit match. That's basically what that was. That would make you question the laws of physics. I see that trap. I think the gray pressure plates are specifically meant, the gray and brown ones are meant to blend in with the environment of caves. Which is really nasty because some traps are... Oh, a skeleton. You saw he was throwing stuff at me? That's another expert mode exclusive thing. Otherwise, skeletons have the same AI as zombies and are not interesting, but the ranged attack is something. Can do some trick shots with grenades. I'm trying anyway. Ah, there is something I could get from skeletons, which is useful at this stage, but no such luck. You see at this point the background is changing. I'm going from underground to caverns where there's slightly different things. This is a fantastic cave system. I wish I had this on the previous playthrough. Oh, bats. I know every cave needs one, but... they're really annoying. And you're gonna see a lot of bats that are exactly the same. I'd love to find more life crystals. It'd be very funny if I was stuck with 180 life for a while. Unable to do a specific thing that I would really like to. It's good practice to place your piggy bank in quick stack on the regular. Oh, I could show something off here. I've been using ropes to climb up and down, right? You can also craft by hand rope coils, which can be thrown like so. That's very convenient, and if you... say for example, if I throw it up here, and I throw another one in the same spot, it keeps lowering down. Just early game traversal. I was very happy when they added that. Made things a bit less miserable in the early hours of a playthrough. Wait, this music in this background. I found the biome I was thinking of. That's amazing. I need to get in there. It's a glowing mushroom biome. Yep, that was an enemy from it. I'm gonna have to fiddle with the ropes here to... you can place tiles off of ropes. That way I can avoid dropping down and drowning or getting eaten by piranhas. This enemy right here is kind of important, which is why I'm taking a detour to kill it. Yes. How does that compare? You know what? I'm just gonna wear those. So now I have increased mining speed. It's a whole set that you can get from the miners. You see the bonus? Even more mining speed on top of that. It used to be very rare. I think they made it more common to help with the early game. Once again. So I'll try to kill every single undead miner I come across. Should be pretty likely to get a full set. Oh, that's a gemstone. Good, good. I don't think it's nearly enough for... oh, maybe... no, it's very close. Just a few more sapphires and I can do something very nice. Okay, I think the biome is this way. I'm close enough for the game to register that the biome is there, but I'm not actually inside of it just yet. This ore, I cannot mine just like the stuff in the Crimson, but I do have bombs, and that still works. Don't know if I'm actually going to use it, but I might as well. I'm even going to blow up these two little bits. I should blow up this wall and get in through there. Oh. I would just have to break that one tile and I can use ropes. Okay. Okay. Several different options. I can see why people like the early game of Terraria. I was kind of skeptical about it when people said it's the best part, and I think, I don't know, I'm kind of sick of going through the motions and hoping the game gives me what I need. But no, I totally get it. I'll leave the... Oh, I got 2 of those. That's another thing. Items with the exact same modifiers or no modifier now stack. I do appreciate that, although... Let's say I had 2 maces with different modifiers, they would still clog up my inventory. So I'm not sure how impactful it really is. The moment I get in the water, the piranhas are gonna make a beeline for me, so... just being careful. I'll set up a rope ahead of time. The Hermes Boots give me horizontal mobility, but I'm still lacking in terms of vertical mobility, so... I would like to find some more stuff down here, if possible. Okay. Weird thing is, I'm not aware of a way to close the crafting window, so I have to close my inventory and open it again. That's a very minor nitpick. I've already gotten used to it, though. Those are spore bats. Oh my god, really? A shroomerang? Fine, I'll use it. It's a boomerang. On the way back, it can pierce through infinite enemies, but it comes back after hitting just one enemy. Otherwise... bats could knock me off this rope, which is a little concerning. So, glowing mushroom biomes are great for a variety of reasons. I find that because they have these large flat areas, you tend to find a lot of stuff generated in them, like statues, life crystals. So I love finding them in the early game. Danger sense could be nice for later. I don't know why I'm saving the cactus sword. In fact, get in the trash. There are 2 different buttons that you can modify what your cursor does in inventory. So holding shift in my case moves an item from one inventory to another. Control throws it in the trash slot. Oh yeah, if it doesn't attach to anything, that's what happens. I'm gonna pick up my piggy bank in a second. It would be really bad if I forgot it here. I've done that before, and I always hate myself for it. It's like forgetting your wallet somewhere, and only realizing it when you're about to make a transaction, right? Oh, the night owl effect wore off. I'll chug another one then. I also have darkness, which is the opposite of night owl. I'm trying to keep common stackable materials in my inventory, and then the more uncommon things are clogging it up in here. I just realized that's a bomb statue. I could produce as many bombs as I want with that. And another thing, is this what I think it is? Yep, it's a gemstone that I don't have any of, which is not great. But oh well. Now that I got the shroomerang, I'm tempted to make a specific thing. Yeah, about finding lots of stuff in glowing mushroom biomes. I once found a dozen life crystals in a single one of these, which is absolutely fantastic. I was very happy that the early game cave grind was almost done at that point. It makes me kind of angry that I found this accessory. Might as well equip it since it gives some damage. Oh yeah, I did pick up my piggy bank. For a moment I was concerned. Invisibility... Oh, lowers the spawn rate of enemies. That's new. Huh. I was gonna say that it's not useful, but I stand corrected. They must have changed that. I think I almost accidentally used the magic mirror from some kind of muscle memory. Okay, what's in this treasure chest? Maybe it kind of blended it. At first I didn't see it either. That's unimpressive. I already have a mace. But I guess I have a glowing mushroom minecart now, for what it's worth. Yeah, grenades can also hurt you. I think all explosives work that way. I gotta be more careful. But there's something great about weapons that are really powerful but can hurt you just as much as your enemies. Do I go all the way down there? I guess I could. My inventory's not full yet. There's still plenty of space in the piggy bank. Ah, what the heck. Yeah, I'm annoyed that I found a depth meter because that's one of the items that I've been struggling to intentionally farm in my previous world. And I'm not farming it because I need it. I absolutely don't need it. But there's an achievement related to it. And I still stand by that achievements are not worth your time unless they're interesting. But... oh, you know what I could do here? Beautiful. But I do want to get all the achievements in this game. It's part of having played it for so long. Ah, there's another life crystal. That's the other thing, the glowing mushrooms make it very easy to see stuff. Another chest. This could be good. Oh, the water is flowing here. Ugh, or not. I could use a thorns potion, I suppose. The only slightly inconvenient thing about the piggy bank is that I have to place platforms or furniture to be able to place it down. I won't find any more fallen stars down here, so I can throw those in. Same thing for daybloom seeds and mushrooms. So, I see you up there. I don't think you're gonna get the drop on me. I could have taken this stuff to put in the piggy bank as well, but it's fine. That's a gemstone. I think it's topaz. One of the things I'm looking for is 15 or 16 of the same gemstone. But that's kind of down to luck. Although now that I have a glowing mushroom biome, I could. I could make use of that in a certain way. Right, there was also this tree over here. I'm not sure if you can see it well. Oh, 15 topaz. Maybe that's fine. There was a life crystal over here, but I'm not taking the best route to reach it. Oh, I just tried to do something that I can't. Muscle memory. The worst is if that happens in a critical moment and you die because of it. Okay, whatever. Moving on. But the other thing is all the visible ores in the walls because of the bioluminescence. I'm gonna need to use the gun on this salamander. It has a ranged attack. Mining potions. Pretty useful. In fact, I'm gonna drink that now, because I think I'll need to dig through here. Okay. I think that's plenty of progress. I want to head back after taking this crystal. Use a lot of the stuff I've got. Oh, this Shelly was gonna fly at me really fast. It's a yo-yo. I'll pick it up. Yo-yos kind of suck. They're melee weapons for some reason. I think the developers just like yo-yos in real life and wanted to do a collaboration. But I'll explain when I get back. Though I'm tempted to keep going over here. I think between the topaz and my... but there's an abandoned dwelling right here. I was gonna say that between the topaz in my inventory and the topaz I found earlier, I probably have enough. Of course, it's just a... That's fine. I accidentally clicked deposit all. But it didn't ruin my inventory, so it's whatever. It's hard to stop caving. It really is. Honestly, at this point, I could and should try to fight a specific boss, although the means to summon that boss is not really available to me easily. It seemed pretty productive to me. Plenty of gold as well. More minerals. I have platinum, although I said that only gold generates because drops can still give you the alternate ores in the same world. So platinum is just way harder to get than gold, since I won't find it anywhere. But it can drop from slimes, for example. Oh, well. Since I'm coming up on time, and this is gonna be kind of rough, I think I'm gonna end it here, and then we'll deal with the blood moon. Thank you for watching.